Oh! Hello everyone, welcome to the Watch Poplars. It is a warm, clear, and very spring-like noon. And today I am going to be repotting these willows that have been growing in here for 2 years without being repotted. And I still don't see any drop of rain in the forecast, which is very unfortunate. But we are kind of getting a Santa Ana ourselves. There's a bit of a breeze, and it's not very strong. It's just like 20 miles per hour, but it might get a bit stronger later today. I don't know. But it's just a breeze. Now, we have lots of conifers around, so it sounds a bit stronger. But really it's just a breeze. You know, picture this kind of wind at the ocean. That would be a breeze. Kind of a strong breeze coming from the north. But today, I want to repot this. These are willows. And they, of course, they are getting late fall colors. Now, there's two kinds of willows here. I don't even know if I want to keep any of these. I already have a very healthy willow, a weeping willow, and that's right here. It's doing very well. And I have too many of these willows that get late fall colors like that. So I might just in fact move one of these willows into here. So I'll get those out just in case. Alright, I have got them out. This one still has one leaf remaining. I think this is a Pacific willow. This one, it might be getting ready to start growing again, I'm not sure. What is that? I can't tell if that bud is swelling or not. I also have the willow that grew beside this Monterey pine, which is doing very, very well. But the pines break dormancy, and I guess this will start growing in April. So in April, I will repot this. But the willow breaks dormancy in early February, and its buds are not swelling. But it would be nice to get it out of here, so that this pine can go back where it is and not be obstructed by this willow, which has probably grown a lot of roots based on the fact that I can pick it up by the stem. Now this has also grown a lot of roots. So yeah. So what to do? I don't know. I don't want to keep these willows in this. I don't need so many willows. I just need one weeping willow. And then, yeah, these were originally growing in a kitchen display, I think in 2023. Yeah. And I think in October, in October, I took them out because Mom didn't want them. They weren't really doing anything, and they were getting moldy and dying So I had to take them out and put them in here. But now I have enough willows that I could probably give these back to the creek. That's doable. And I could do that. However, I think I should give these back to the creek, because I think I got these from the creek. These weeping willows, they actually came from the weeping willow at my old high school. But, you know, I can't go over there. And yeah, because, I don't know, it's not a school day. And plus, my parents sued the school for not dealing with my accommodations, being a special needs person. So yeah, but yeah, it's just ridiculously far away from here. So yeah, I've made up my mind. I'm going to walk down there and I'm going to put these back. This, oh God, that is a big thing to do. I think I'm going to get the repotting done, and then I'm going to put that in the creek after. But should I put these in there? You know, I don't know, maybe. But we will see. Well, I'm gonna start working, and then maybe I'll find a solution while I am working, and then we will go on from there. But yeah, there's a spurge. This little tiny annual spurge, I think. It's a very cute spurge. It's in the Euphorbiaceae family, spurge, and those candelabra cacti in South Africa are in the same related family as this. You also get croton and poinsettia in this family, and I think it's very beautiful. So now, I'm gonna get the smaller one out first. I'm gonna put this aside, because I do not know what I'll do with that yet at this moment. Yeah, squish the pot. Oh. It's not coming out. Is it? I can't. Oh! Alright. I'll put the fallout away, because I want to keep that fallout. It's really nice. Yeah, and there's pretty much most of the roots that are in here are from the willow instead of the pine. Maybe the pine could have grown a little bit more if there wasn't a big willow growing in there. But you know, the pine grew really well. Last year it grew to here. You know, actually, no, wait. It could be 3 years old. Maybe it grew to here. No. I'm correct. Okay, so this seedling here is 2 years old. This one, there's a whorl here and a whorl here. Gosh. I really can't tell. I'm gonna guess this is 2 years old. And And then it grew to here. But yeah. Those are all willow roots. This feels really nice. I like this texture. It's kind of fine-grained, but lots of soft and feathery, soft roots growing in there. That is interesting. Look at that. Yeah. So I'm going to rake it out. Or should I? These willow roots. At the surface, they're pink. Maybe that's because they're getting sun. Because they're getting oxygen. But yeah, I don't know. The soil is a bit sandy, which is nice for willows. Now, I could technically repot the pines at this time of year as well. They will survive. I mean, if I do a light amount of root work, than I usually do right before they break dormancy. But I don't want to like full on repot the pines at this time of year because we are over a month before they break dormancy. And yeah. But it would be my first time repotting the pines, which is nice. I'm very excited. Wait. Or maybe I think I have repotted the pines before. I'll have to look back on one of my past videos that I actually didn't post on YouTube yet. But that was from like early 2024. I assuming the pines would have a thicker root. It's starting to get very windy. Yeah. It's a strong breeze. It looks so bright and springy outside, despite it being January. Maybe the sun is actually getting higher noticeably, I don't know. I'm sure in a time lapse it would, noticeably getting brighter and higher in the sky. But I don't know. It's just very dry and clear and warm. But the good thing is that we are getting, even though we're not getting any rain anytime soon, we are getting some cold weather coming up. And maybe I will have, it actually is going colder than that night that defoliated my acacia. So hopefully, because my acacia is growing, as you saw earlier in this video, that it is growing and it is doing very well. I could like treat it like a true tropical tree. They can be treated like that. It was growing in Key West, its parent tree. Yeah. So I don't think I'll have a hard time growing it like in warmth all year long. And you saw the temperature in there. My tamarind was just like, it was in the hundreds. And I don't know what to do about that. They usually don't get temperatures that high, or at least I don't think tamarinds get that warm where they grow. Oh, there is a big root. I might have to get the water, but I want to comb out all the soil first. At least from the willow, so I can get it out. This is problematic. They're growing very close together. I'll have to comb out everything in here. I don't even remember planting a willow in here. It just grew somehow. It just started growing in here. You know, the willows, the willow seeds are fluffy anyway. They're very lightweight. It is windy. Oh. I have coughed again. Yeah. I'm still being delicate with the root combing. It looks like I'm going fast, but I'm just kind of lightly holding it. And if it gets caught, I don't tear it, the knot out. Okay, so once I got enough soil out, I can wash this out. I can wash the rest out. I bare root all of my trees. And if I repotted these pines in spring last year, I also bare rooted them, and they did pretty well. It allows you to see all the roots, all the flaws. You know, the reason why people say you don't bare root conifers is because they're nervous that they'll kill the tree. Hello. Yes. And someday, people will realize that you can actually bare root your pines. Yeah. So I'm gonna keep this in some water, or in the shade here, so it doesn't dry out. It is quite windy. I mean, I don't know. I could keep a mound of soil in it. Yeah, I could probably. Yeah, well, let's see. There is this thing here. This. Is there water in here? There's a little bit of water. This is where I tried growing cattails in here, but it never worked. Not because they weren't viable, but it's just because I collected them off season. They were not viable because they were not ripe yet. But now they're probably ripe in the creek. I could try again collecting cattail seeds, but yeah. There's lots of moisture in here, so I'll just cover that up until I work on it. Yeah, I gotta separate these. I think it's good enough that I can wash them out. Alright, I have got what I called a tray of water last time, but it is actually a pretty looking flower pot. So the way I like the classic gardeners would say, oh, there, my trusty mosquito-free bowl of water with a crack in it. That, it's not leaking too bad. It's actually not leaking at all. Oh yes. So now. Oh, stuck. I'm going to get this in here. And with this, I will be able to see all the roots. So the pine has the black roots, and the willow has the white roots. They all, they have almost fused. Oh. The willow is strangling the pine. and I need to correct that. That is a problem. Look, it's almost they're sharing nutrients or something. I don't. No, you cannot grow a willow and a pine in the same container. Because you have to overwater the willow. Well, if you water a willow correctly, you're overwatering a pine. Oh dear. Plus these roots are not growing in a very radial pattern. Better be very careful not to prune the roots of the pine. Wow, it's like fused. That is a problem. But the good thing is, I won't be keeping this part of the willow roots, so I can prune that off. Oh. And now. There's the willow. And here's the pine. So, oh. There's a coiling roots around it. It is girdling. The root is girdling the pine. It's like a ficus. I've seen it. There's examples of this in Florida where there's ficus growing on a pine. Like you know, the Florida's pines. Loblolly pine. Yes, it's coming free. Okay, that was that was crazy. So now we'll see if I did any root work to this. I might have. I don't know. There's a piece of the willow root. That was insane. So now, I don't know if I want to repot these pines at this moment. Well, I could. I think it's safe, but I'll just do it lightly. I need to get the stuff out of the scissors. This root goes in a funny direction. Upward. Oh. Need to push the blades together. I will not prune the top of the pine because it doesn't have the right kind of growth yet. It still has its juvenile foliage. You could see that there are some needle pairs developing here, but, excuse me, most of them are in single needles, but you know, the needle pairs. Let's see. This is a bundle, but all the needles fell off. These needles are kind of old. They're falling off. All these brown ones are single needles. And a lot of the green ones here on this section are, all of the ones that are green on this section are in the clumps, in the threes. They're like that. Needles of 3. Bundles. So I will continue root pruning. Now, I have the option to prune to here. I do not want to do that. It's risky. But I'll prune here and here. You know, close enough for this time of year, and that is all. Well, almost. Can I do even the slightest bit more? There's a crossing root here. That is it. I cannot do any more. Otherwise, I will harm the tree. And what about this? I'll switch places. So I got the big one in the gravel now. I gotta cover it up. You really need to wash out all of the soil on no matter what tree you have. The only way you can tell if a tree is not good for bonsai if it does not let you do anything bonsai. If it does not grow into a tree, you can't do it to an annual flowering plant. Like willow herb. You can make it, you can develop into a tree for 2 years, and I'll show you that. I have a willow herb here. It is going to die if it's not dead yet, but you know, it's 2 years old, and it grew to like here in 2023. I was pruning it, and then I was pruning it whenever it produced a branch. And you know, you can get willow herb like that, epilobium, in the family Onograceae, primrose, but they're naturally an annual and a short-lived perennial that lives like 2 years. I need to protect the branches in my plum forest because it was right there. Hello. But here, I have an upward root here. I have an upward root here. I'll prune it a little bit more. Hopefully my gray pines also did well last year. Here. And if these are weak next year, that doesn't mean I'm not going to ever repot them again. It doesn't mean I'm never going to bare root them again. It just means that I can skip a year repotting them to let them recover. I'll do the same operation. Because if Nigel has success bare rooting every single one of his trees, pines, ficus, whatever, then I can do it. And yeah, this root sticks up, but there's a downward root here. I'll prune that. Just like your branches, you want to develop a nice flowing, you want your roots to look like a broom style, except maybe not so flowing like that, but you want them to kind of curve downward into the soil and then even out, but never completely horizontal. It's just like a parabola or something. I don't know. I'll plant these. I gotta find a container, and I think I'll put them in the same container that they were in before. I'll get all the willow leaves out. Oh. And I just spilled the gravel. Yeah. Oh yeah. Now, I'll pot these up off camera. We just had a 30-mile-per-hour gust of wind. So here I have the pines put in, but now I got to poke the soil around in the roots so that they actually stay put. Get the soil around the roots so that there are no air pockets. And I highly recommend you do not use wire to tie in your your pots. If you are a beginner or intermediate, don't tie your trees into your pots. Well, I mean, I think by the intermediate stage, I think that's usually when you kind of know, you get the hang of what you're doing. But for all beginners, do not tie your trees into your pots unless you have found a way to do it that does not form wire scars on your roots. A lot of bonsai pots have that feature built into them, and I'll show you that hopefully without flipping it. So you see all these holes? Those are for wire. You have the option to stick them in here and kind of weave them around and tie them in. I have wire. I can show you an example of that. I can show you to demonstrate it, but I don't want to risk the possibility of getting scars over my roots. And that's why I would rather use rocks to hold in my trees, and it works perfectly fine. It keeps the tree nice and firm and secure. Now I'm gonna work on this willow. And I think this willow will be a different video. This video is quite long. I don't want almost hour-long videos for every single one of my trees. Oh wow, check this out. Yeah, the wind I mean, I kind of expected a rapid increase in the wind speed. The graph did show that. I just didn't know exactly what time of day it would happen at. Now this does kind of increase our fire danger. It's in the 60s right now. It's quite pleasant. But, you know, once again, I highly advise not smoking outside during this time, just in case, if there is a very strong gust of wind. You don't want sparks blowing around. It's also very dry. It's unusually dry for this time of year. And that's been causing this large night and day difference in temperature. Cold nights and warm days. But yeah, we'll see how this ends and plays out. But now, I kind of just activated the focus thing. Well, I'll just hold it down here. I can use a backdrop. No, actually, I can use the water as a backdrop. Yeah. Aha. That's nice. So here, I'm gonna prune it flat. I want this tree to be twisty. It grew very nice and twisty, and it has nice radial roots. There's a crooked root here. It's crooking. There's a root that's kind of crooked here, and it's kind of a bit blurry, but you know, I'll just suck it up and there. Sometimes it fixes itself. Sometimes it doesn't. Okay, there's a root. It's a bit tall here, but there's a downward root growing here. This root has lots of options, but it's growing upward. you can basically see. So I'll prune that. Like that. Forgive my ridiculously long fingernails. Yeah. They are not fakes. Alright. I think I can prune this a little bit more. I'll prune this part off. Prune very, very flat, because these roots are very flat. They might even be too flat. Now prune it flat here. And that is good. It's going to grow strongly, because it has lots of fine root hairs. And I know you can't see that, but you know, I can zoom in. There. You know, the reflection is perfectly... Why is the reflection so detailed, but the actual object is not? Yeah. Let's see. I can do this. And now, oh. It's being snarky. Okay, so you can see I have lots of root hairs. Oh, here, let me fix the, there. So now you can see that that's quite flat. Does it stand? No, not yet. But next year I think it will. I should, you know, that root is very vigorous. There's a very vigorous side root here, and I don't want it taking over. So I'm going to hard prune that root and leave the others how they are. I'm gonna prune here. So there, I have taken some energy out of that root, and I have given the other roots a chance. Now I'll prune this root a little bit more so that it's not so horizontal. There. I kind of tore it a little bit. That's not good. Yeah, that should do. That's fine. So I'll pot that up. I raise it up a little bit so that the roots actually go downward, flowing into the soil if they are horizontal. And I plant my trees a little bit shallow. You want them like the root flare to be like an inch away from the surface of the soil. Just enough that, you know, when you're frequently watering, that you can keep them moist. And that's good. I will finally pack it down a little bit. And there. That is all I'll be doing today. I'll be working on this willow another time. Yeah, I see a lot of, it's very promising. It has a nice promising structure for a very beautiful tree in the future. It's got a basic branch structure for me to work with, a multi-trunk tree, and I can see that it will be a very beautiful willow in the future. So yeah, that was very fun. I really enjoyed that, as I do always. But I also put the stuff back in here, all the fallout, make it look natural. And I might put a little bit of moss on it, but it's possible it will just grow back in if I just like scrape off some topsoil from one of my other trees and put it in here. Yeah, but you know, who knows? If this starts to thicken up, I'll certainly take this off. I'll just keep it in here so that the leaves stay in there. And yeah, that's looking quite nice. Yeah. Yeah, if I decide to prune it back a little bit more, which I think I will, I'm going to take this off. But yeah, for now, it's just to keep a cover on the leaves so that the willow can have some of the chemicals or the stuff from the leaves at the base of the soil, so that it thinks that it's growing with all its other willows. The willow friends, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, I'll show you the twinberry honeysuckle. And I put some of his leaves on. The soil's still mushy. You can see, if I peel these leaves back, you can see it's just mush. But that will fix itself over time. But I brought all the leaves from the honeysuckle it was growing in are now in here. The Cyba speciosa and the white poplars. Yeah, but it's 45 minutes long. I gotta stop the video. And yeah, so you might not be able to see my face, but you know, that is all for today. This is the watch poplars, and I will see you in the next video.